Alright, all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Alright, once again. Alright, it's another like lesson and all that. Alright, but alright, the name of this lesson is gonna be and Lord willing, it's gonna be an ongoing series. Alright, it's gonna be called Esau's Folly. Alright, where I go into like, you know, these Edomites, these so-called white people, or as far as like like they run the world now. This is their kingdom. Alright, but there's a lot of like folly, wickedness, and down just like a lot of weird shit going on, like in general. Alright, and literally like this lesson is gonna be about like some weird shit. Alright, because alright, these Edomite doctors, they have something. Alright, they have something called a like a fecal transplant. Alright, what they do is alright, they like transplant, like they have donors like who like donate their like fecal matter, their shit. Alright, it's like so-called like healthy shit, and they put it like into the intestines of like someone who's sick. Alright, but the Heavenly Father Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, or as far as like healing like illnesses and all that, the Heavenly Father, he already put like herbs, like he put like herbs on the ground for like different purposes, or that should be taken as like food and medication, right? Instead of for all these just like downright like just like bugged out like weird. That's some like weird shit. All right, so first I'm gonna get all right, Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Alright, I'm just gonna start at that one because like Paul was talking about like he was like urging people to be in the right spirit, obviously, alright, and not being like in the spirit of because if you're in like the spirit of the world, like that's the spirit of like Esau basically. Alright, and like Esau, he has like his own like twisted ways as far as like how to solve problems, how to cure like illnesses, like how to be spiritual and all that. He has his own like procedures, and a lot of them alright, and this is like the weirdest thing I've ever heard of right so far. Alright, so I'm gonna get like a Wikipedia article. Alright, this is a fecal microbiota transplant. Like all you can do is like Google fecal transplant, and you'll probably get a whole bunch of information. Alright, it says fecal microbiota transplant, also known as a stool transplant, like stool's another like name for shit. Alright, is the process of transplantation of fecal bacteria from a healthy individual into a recipient. FMT involves restoration of the colonic microflora by introducing healthy bacterial flora through infusion of stool. So it's kind of like getting like a blood transplant and all that. Or and according to like the law, you're not supposed to do that. Like there's certain certain like procedures as far as like just like bodily fluids and how it's supposed to be like handled and all that. Alright, there's according to the scriptures, there's really like tedious procedures that you have to like go through and all that. And as far as like all the material you touch and everything. Alright, so this is a very this is an unclean procedure according to the scriptures. Alright, so Alright, FMT involves restoration of the colonic microflora by introducing healthy bacterial flora through infusion of stool, by example by enema, oral gastric tube, or by mouth in the form of a capsule containing freeze-dried material, like freeze-dried shit, like you know, ice cream of the future. Alright, this is Dookie of the future. Our freeze-dried material obtained from a healthy donor. A limited number of studies have shown it to be an effective treatment for patients suffering from Clostridium difficile infection, or CDI, which can range from diarrhea to another form of colitis, and and then what comes to mind is like the dietary laws, like pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Like there's nothing wrong with like eating things like that, right? And you wouldn't think that like even like refraining from like those things, and and having like a diet mainly of just like greens, vegetables, like like for example, like sometimes I'll like adhere to like a vegan or like a raw diet for like a few months like in the year, just to like just like naturally like it'll naturally like flush your system out, like also like fasting and things like that. Alright, but I putting another person's shit inside of your body. Alright, but that's some bugged out, like I mean, this is Esau we're talking about, so it doesn't like baffle me that much, but still, like like wow. Okay, so alright, what else? Alright, definition. Alright, fecal FMT. Alright, is the transfer of fecal material containing bacterial and natural antibacterials from a healthy individual into a diseased recipient. Alright, you can't like as far as like what's wrong with like taking like you got like probiotics, like yogurt and kefir and shit like that. Alright, and alright, there's certain like it's like foods and herbs that you can take that can solve these problems. Alright, but like Esau wants to like go overboard with it. Like he wants to put someone else's shit inside your body. Alright, previous terms for the procedure include fecal bacterial therapy, fecal transfusion, fecal transplant, stool transplant, fecal enema, and human probiotic. They talk about like or they either want to like an enema, that's just or that's just like a medical term for like some sort of like term for like it's basically a form of sodomy. Alright, and alright, just ingesting. We're gonna get some scriptures, alright, about like how like what the scriptures have to say and what Yahweh Shem Yahushai have to say about like it's like the concept of like fecal matter and all that. And as far as that, like what is like what are the proper like medical procedures and things that heal yourself according to the scriptures, or and all that. But alright, because the procedure involves the complete restoration of the entire fecal microbiota, not just a single agent or combination of agents, these terms have now been replaced with the new term FMT. Alright, but it's just basically it's putting someone else's shit inside of you. Alright, it's fucking weird. Like I heard about it on like NPR, like earlier today, and like a few times and all that. Alright, but alright, we're going to alright, this is alright, Job 13 and 4. I'm going to start at 3. Surely I would speak to the Almighty, and I desire to reason with the Most High. Alright, so going into the scriptures to find out what's right and wrong, what's like what's acceptable and all that. Like what your ways have to be like in agreement with Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right, and not with men. Especially like men that want to put like shit inside of you. Alright, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. you got forgers of lies, packers of fudge. Shit, I mean, alright, but ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Alright, and these people, alright, and there's even a difference between the word, like a physician and a doctor. Alright, a physician is like someone that's alright, that heals, like he gives you like herbs and all that. Like that guy that passed away, like Dr. Sebi, alright, Tahuti Mat Ra, or people like that. They're alright, they weren't in the truth, but their specialty was like healing people like through like natural and like herbal procedures. Alright, even Tahuti Mat Ra, he said that like technically like you're supposed like as far as like getting like amputations, teeth pulled and all that, like he even said that was off because like you're supposed to have like everything, like that's not that's not a prop, like getting things surgically removed is not or is not the proper way to heal yourself. Alright, but he's saying that or these Edomites are physicians of no value. Alright, because there's other ways to like go about, like if you were adhering to the scriptures, alright, then you know that there would be like certain ways to go about like healing like your healing yourself like internally. Alright, you can alright, suck it.